My name is Kennedy Toragano. Oh, Jana.
What? It's weird.
Huh? I play catcher.
I'm a pitcher and a second baseman, and my favorite's sorry. Oh, there's a puppy.
They call me Brinley. They call me Brain.
Ladies, nothing to be ashamed of. We mess up here in the booth all of the time, so you have done a great job all week. But I love their good spirits and having some fun with us.
Yeah, that is awesome. And it's so easy to say the wrong thing. I mean, even something as simple as saying your name, sometimes you mess up. We get it.
And they're not used to this. They're just not used to the cameras, and so this is a new thing for all these girls and part of the incredible experience here at the Little League Softball Southwest region.
It's intimidating.
Eight, 9-1 due up for Oklahoma with a one-run lead as we move to the top of the fifth inning. Here's Miley Needham at the plate.
Says that she looks up to a lot of people in her life, but her first pitching coach was Haley Wagner, who pitched at the University of Michigan. She taught her to love the game and the importance of mechanics and fundamentals. So shout out to Haley Wagner, who has been paying attention to this Little League regional and paying attention to see how Miley Needham has been doing.
Needham ahead in the count. Look for a good pitch here on this 3-1. Hard swing, but fouls it off. Count goes full.
She also has hit her first over-the-fence home run this season. A lot of these players, like some really big bats for Texas West and Oklahoma, being able to hit a home run. Looks like it's going to be an illegal pitch called on Robinson. Unfortunately, it looks like he's talking about her back foot coming up off the ground, so she's replanting.
That's third base umpire Jeff Lindhorst. As Miley Needham will get a walk.
Look at her back foot. You see it comes in the air and then back on the ground again. You have to keep your drag foot on the ground continuously through your pitch.
Some changes in the outfield for Texas West. Williams moves to left. Tate is in center and Hansen is in right. As Cheyenne Dill will step up to the plate for Oklahoma. Runner on at first, nobody out. Shows bunt. Takes a pitch outside, 2-0. '90th pitch of the ball game for Brenley Robinson. Gets the corner, 2-1. Really outside of that first inning where Oklahoma really made Robinson work and throw a ton of pitches, she's been efficient in the circle. Oh! Did that hit the bat? Ball is put in play, thrown out a second and over to first. A very bizarre double play. Good thing Dill popped up safely. It looked like it hit off her face, but apparently that was the bat. And Brenley Robinson turns two.
Yeah, because it was thrown right at her face, but it ends up hitting her barrel. She falls to the ground. The communication by Texas West was exceptional to be able to tell Robinson to throw to second base with this ball. Everybody just was making sure that Dill was okay when she hit the ground, and she is 100% okay because it hit her bat, but still scary if you're a batter in that situation. Double play, though, second double play of the game for Texas West.
The good news is that Dill is okay, because that looks scary. 1-0 pitch, top of the lineup for Alexis Kierstead. Kierstead lifts it down the right field line in foul territory. It gets down. Let's take another look at that double play.
Yeah, so Robinson ends up having another tremendous throw to second base. It hits off of her bat. Robinson charges, And it's actually Addison Young who's covering second base, and she yells to Robinson, "Throw it to me," and she turns it for the double play. Perfect throw again by Robinson. Young quickly moves out of the way of the slide and gets her foot out of the way to be able to turn it to Richards.
It's a great communication for Texas West. We were talking about the pitch count earlier for Friendly Robinson. She threw 40 pitches in that first inning. And ever since the last 4 innings, it's been 52. So she's really regrouped from that first inning start.
Yeah, it looked like we had another illegal pitch for Robinson. So a strike was turned into a ball for a 2-0 count. And that is a type that can start to get in your head a little bit, because it's mechanics that are tougher to change in game to be able to attempt to pitch legally. Delayed call. Kierstead thinking that she's going to head on down to first base. Delayed call by the umpire of the strike call, and the fans are just loving it for Robinson, Little League, and then Robinson, the pitcher.
Kierstead says, "Okay, I'll get back in the box." 3-1. Big swing and a miss. 3-2.
Look at Mathis talking to her pitcher, just trying to pump her up. Like, let's stay in this. Like the energy that Mathis has had back behind the plate this whole week.
Rocio also saying something to her pitcher, Robinson. Here comes the payoff pitch, 2 down. And Kierstead does earn herself a walk.
It's her 3rd walk of the game.
And each time she's walked, she's come around to score. That'll bring up the shortstop, Taylon Starr. 2 for 3 today. Singleton scored in the first and then singled in the 4th. Runner goes down to second. Got her! Isabel Mathis showing off the arm behind the plate. Wait a minute.
I think they're questioning on the field if Rocio dropped the ball or not, because I saw the ball drift away from her after the tag. The umpire had already called her out, and he's saying he's going to bring everybody together. She's going to bring everybody together.
Rose Bradshaw, the second base umpire. Here's another look. So as she applied the tag, Rocio had the ball in her glove, makes the tag on Kierstead. But was the ball in her glove long enough?
I would say, yeah, I don't think that this is going to get overturned. Yeah.
And the call is confirmed. Rose Bradshaw, second base umpire, says out at second, and that'll end this top of the 5th.
But don't let this distract you from how incredible of a play this was by Mathis. We've been talking about her all game long. She has such a good arm, and the throw was perfect, but Rocio kind of given up her body at second base to make the tag. She dives into the runner and secures the 3rd out. What a defensive inning for Texas West.
Let's get you caught up how we got here. First inning, Oklahoma getting on the board. First, they scored 4 runs in the first inning. That was Candace Burnett. And then she would come around to score. In the 3rd inning, Texas West, the bats came alive. They would score 3 runs in the 3rd. That would make it a 4-3 ball game. Oklahoma scored 1 in the 4th. Texas West answered with another, and that's where we stand, 5-4 as we move into the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, Texas West has never had the lead against Oklahoma in this entire regional. They've come close. The end of the last game that they played against each other when Oklahoma sent them to the elimination bracket was close.
So a clarification on that last play in the top of the 5th inning. As Kierstead was going into second base, she slid head first, which is an automatic out. So it had nothing to do with the ball or the transfers, because Kierstead slid head first. 4, 5, 6 to up for Texas West here in the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 1 run. Peyton Richards slaps that one foul. This is the championship game here in the Southwest region. Both of these teams have already advanced and punched their ticket to the Little League Softball World Series. It's now a question of who will be Team A and who will be Team B.
Yeah, and who gets to be the Southwest region champs?
1-1 ground back to the pitcher. Dotson fields and throws 1 down.
Louisiana had won it the past couple of years. The same team that we saw that was in this tournament from East Bank. Oklahoma has never been to the Little League Softball World Series, and the last time that Robinson Little League was there was back in 2013.
Softball is so important to the state of Oklahoma, especially these young girls. This team was put together of 2 little leagues. They played their first team action for the first time here in this Southwest region. The team is mainly made up of Native American young girls. So important. And that one hit her. Isabel Mathis hit her in the arm.
Got a run her shoulder.
We got the medical team here in Waco, Texas, attending to Isabel Mathis. We know she's tough. She's the catcher. So it's a good sign seeing her get to her feet. She's trying to shake it off, but
It's actually going to go down as a strike, too, and not even a hit by pitch because she did swing. A bit of a check swing, but
so Mathis now in the hole. 0-2, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Dotson deals. And a nice swing by Mathis, shaking it off. Staying alive.
yeah, just being tough with 2 strikes, battling through some pain, clearly.
Well hit into left field, back at the wall, and it is foul.
She's going to take that energy of being frustrated from getting hit with the pitch right into her swing. Dotson needs to be careful here and maybe expand the zone a little bit more since she's ahead 0-2.
She wants to play Kung Fu Fighting as her dream walk-up song, and she is fighting back after getting hit by that pitch. 0-2.
Take a look at where the right fielder is playing Kierstead. Look how shallow she is. Remember, we had a 9-3 put out at first base because of her defensive positioning. The other outfielders are playing a little bit closer to the warning track, normal positioning. But Kierstead almost like a 5th infielder, like a rover.
So after falling behind 0-2, Mathis has battled back. It's now 2-2, and here comes the 7th pitch of the at-bat. What a battle.
I know it.
0-2, you're hit on your shoulder. You feel it, you're in pain, but no give up. And Isabel Mathis' count is now full. What a does Riley Dotson come back here with on this payoff pitch? Up high, got her to pop it up on the infield. Dotson makes the catch, 2 outs.
Every out is just so important right now. Oklahoma still with just a 1-run lead. We're getting late in this game as they only play 6 innings here in Little League.
I mean, all these games here in Waco have been so good. I mean, I knew coming in that these are the top teams from the each state in this region, but it seems like every year the level of play keeps going up and up.
I think our sport is growing in so many different ways with the excitement and the development of athletes. I think that the coaches are learning more and getting better.
It's Texas West manager Edward Rosillo. Robinson Little League was really one of the most dominant teams in the state of Texas all season long. 2-0 count on Addison Williams. High chopper back to the pitcher. Dotson fielding her position. Here we go. Let's go to the final inning. Oklahoma with a 5-4 lead.
Showtime.
Let's do this.
There might be more here than you thought.
This is the way.
The biggest stage on this level. Anytime there's a World Series in any sentence, you know it is going to be a big game.
This is where the passion comes out. You fall in love with the sport.
They play together and they play to have fun. The big old swing to start. That's a pretty big moment in her sports career. That'll put a smile on your face.
Such a fun experience. It's nothing better than the Little League World Series.
It all goes down August 11th in Stalling Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina. Take a look at all the tickets that have already been punched. Both teams here in our region, Muskogee, Oklahoma, the team from Oklahoma, and Robinson, Texas, the team from Texas West. Defending Little League Softball World Series champion also will be there to defend their title. So this is it. The championship game here in the Southwest region. Title is on the line. Oklahoma has a 1-run lead, and they have the heart of their lineup due up. 2-3-4. Kaylin Starr, the shortstop, will lead things off. Starr strikes that into the gap of the outfield. And she'll take the hard turn at first and return. She starts off this top of the 6th with a single. Here comes the 100th pitch of the ball game for Brenly Robinson. In there for a strike to Goose Hutchins. And we talked about Oklahoma, how much softball means to this team and their region where they're from, Muskogee, Oklahoma. Hutchins, hard hit back up the middle. So the first 2 batters reach for Oklahoma, first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, Goose continues to drive the ball right up the middle of the field. That's how you know that you're just on time. It's her barrel head down to that pit. It's where pitchers continue to try to throw her as low and out.
This team, Oklahoma, received a lot of support from everyone back home. They had to go door to door, knocking, asking neighbors for donations. Candace Burnett into the hole. No play for Rosillo. Everyone is safe. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
These are really important base runners that are out on the base pass right now because Oklahoma just has that 1-run lead. And you want to head into the last inning, the bottom of the 6th inning, with a little bit more cushion. So bases loaded, no outs, a really big opportunity for Oklahoma to expand their lead, especially with the comeback that Texas West mounted on them the last time that they played.
Aubrey Davis takes that first pitch outside, 1-0. So this team was able to raise a few $1,000s, but they also had a huge support from the Creek Nation. Donated a chartered bus and the driver so the team could get here safely and in style. Davis ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases loaded, nobody out. Down low, 3-0.
So proud of Robinson for the way that she's settled into this game and has thrown well since the first inning.
Comes back with a fastball. Coming home as Rosillo gets the lead runner. Alert play by the shortstop to cut off the run, 1 out.
That was a huge play. We've seen so many ground balls to the infield with the bases loaded, and that's the first play at the plate like that we have seen a player have enough confidence and belief in her arm to get that lead runner at home. Huge play by Rosillo, who we highlighted at the top of the show. Her defense and her offense is just outstanding.
Just does get the speedy star for the force out at home. But the bases are still loaded. 1 out. Here's the left fielder, Lily Beveridge. Beveridge 2 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, she's seen Robinson really well. Beveridge had that hit on an 0-2 count and a 1-2 count and a walk.
Here's Haley Galvin, Oklahoma coach, giving some instruction to Lily Beveridge. Haley Galvin, former player at Fresno State, now the coach for this team, talked to us about the importance of softball within the community for Native Americans in Oklahoma.
It's satisfying and kind of warming to the heart that we have so many people from different tribes and different backgrounds and history representing Team Oklahoma. Not a lot of people see Native Americans go out and play softball on the big stage.
Galvin telling us about 80% of her players come from the Creek Nation and the Cherokee.
And also the Choctaw Nation and the Kiowa Nation. Very proud Native Americans on this team.
It was really cool conversation we had with Haley Galvin, telling us about the importance of softball within the Native American community and just how generations can play and they learn from each other and pass down traditions through the game of softball.
Definitely a family game and in their blood.
How about Haley Galvin donating her time? She just finished playing college softball on a high level at Fresno State, and now she wants to give back to her community and teach these young girls.
Yeah, same with Taylor Redding, who's also on their coaching staff, a current player at Rogers State. Haley and Taylor go way back, playing together as young softball players.
And what better role models for these young girls to learn from? 1-2 pitch. Misses outside. Ball gets past the catcher, but the runners stay put. Off the ricochet, that ball went off the screen hard and came back to the catcher, Mathis.
Yeah, to your point, we don't get to see that all too often. Young, fresh out of college or current college players coaching Little League teams. I mean, usually it's dads and moms, which is great too, and we're so thankful for them, but I don't think there's anything like a role model, like a current college softball player, just out of school college softball player.
2-2 pitch popped up on the infield. Rosillo makes the catch. So there's now 2 outs.
Man, this is big. Robinson continuing to get outs with the bases loaded.
If you're Texas West and the ball gets put in play, you want it hit right at Rosillo because she knows what to do with it.
I know.
She's recorded the first 2 outs here in this inning. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Fly ball in the outfield. A catch is made by Tate, and there ends the threat. Texas West escapes. No runs across. The bases were loaded with nobody out.
So much focus out in center field by Reese Tate to secure that last out. The bases were loaded, and Texas West defense steps up again. They're just down by 1 run.
Welcome back to Waco, Texas. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Amanda Scarborough. We move into the bottom of the 6th inning in this championship game for the Southwest region. Texas West trails by just 1 run to Oklahoma. They were down 4-0 after the first, have battled all the way back. And Amanda, we saw something similar to this yesterday. Texas West lost 7-5 to Oklahoma after they battled back. And let's see, look what is on the line here in the Southwest region.
Yeah, you get to, the winner takes home the title of the Southwest region champion, and also will be the A team in Greenville at the World Series. You kind of want that, right? You want that title, that championship, to add your name to the list. Of Louisiana the past couple of years has been the one to win it.
7-8-9 due up for Texas West. Reese Tate leads things off. She's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
This keeps happening. You make a great play on the defense, and then you turn right back around and pick up your bat to lead off the inning.
Popped up. Catch is made by Starr at short for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. Oklahoma, they can sense it, just 2 outs away from this Southwest Region Championship.
This Oklahoma team, so good on defense, such a deep pitching staff. We've seen Riley Dotson, Zoe Griffin, and also Cam Casey throw a lot of innings in this regional. Deep in the circle.
Here's been the hottest bat for Texas West, Brenly Robinson. Doubled and scored in the 3rd, doubled and scored in the 4th. Hard hit right at Starr, but can't make the throw. Robinson continues on to 2nd.
That was so important with 7-8-9 coming up in this inning. Bryn Robinson finding a way to get on base, because now you almost guarantee that Lexi Rocio will come up in this inning. Robinson hit that so hard. Starr maybe just a little bit too much in her head, trying to make a perfect throw to Needham at first base. Robinson finds a way to get herself to 2nd base again. She already has 2 doubles in this game.
She never even slowed down, just kept going on her way to 2nd base. That was ruled an E6 on Starr. First 2 games for Oklahoma, no errors today. They had 3.
Maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, maybe a bit of fatigue from a long week.
Bottom of the lineup for Texas West, Haven Hansen will dig in. With Robinson on at 2nd, 1 down. Well hit down the line and just foul. That was so close, Amanda.
With the luck that Texas West has had offensively, they have had hits fall like that all game long. I'm surprised that it didn't. It was so close. Look at this. Inches.
That's like 1 ball length foul. 0-2 count now on Hansen. Stays alive.
Good piece of hitting by Hansen to foul that pitch off with 2 strikes. It's important right now that if the ball is put in the air, that Robinson doesn't get doubled off of 2nd base. It's so important that she sees the ball down.
0-2 pitch lifted out into center field, and that's going to get over the head of Dill. Robinson rounds 3rd. She will come around to score, and we've got a tie ball game, 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
What an at-bat by Hansen, Haven Hansen. runner at second base. She battled with 2 strikes. She's only 4'10". Look how in the outfielders were playing her because she's only 4'10". They don't think that she has a lot of power. They're expecting something in front of them, and she hits it behind them. They have to go chase it. Haven Hansen ties up this game, the championship game. What a comeback. We've seen this Texas West team fight so hard in this regional. You know that they want to win it right here.
A 5-5 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. Riley Dotson getting a pep talk. Gotta love the smile too in the circle. She knows Oklahoma is still in this game. She needs 2 outs to send this game to extra innings.
And Texas West just needs 1 run to win it.
Oklahoma handed Texas West their first loss here in the Southwest region yesterday, 7-5. Now Robinson Little League looking for revenge today to get the championship title here in the Southwest region.
And no surprise that they are going to go ahead and choose to intentionally walk Lexi Rosillo. They don't have to throw the pitches. They just say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and put her at first base. And now Raylan Van Zee is going to come up to the plate with a big opportunity to win this game.
Down 4-0 in the first. Texas West has battled all the way back to tie it here in the 6th inning. Raylan Van Zee, her father and assistant coach looking on. Takes the first pitch low and away, ball 1. Lays off that pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count on Van Zee.
Good eye by Van Zee. And as a hitter in this situation, you were just thinking about how all the pressure is on the pitcher right now to throw a pitch over the plate to get back into this count. Still have a good eye and make her work.
Hard hit by Van Zee, just foul.
You know that Goose Hutchins over there at third base is like, come on, bring it, hit it to me. It was Van Zee who was up whenever Goose Hutchins turned a double play late in the game in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Nice moves by Edward Rosillo, manager for Texas West, getting out of the way.
Yeah.
2 balls, 1 strike to count on Van Zee. 1 out, runners on at first and second. Hard hit to center field. Catch is made by Dill. Now the runner Hansen goes back and retreats to second. Oklahoma knows they just need 1 more out to extend this game into extra innings.
And Van Zee, again, with the bad luck in this regional, it's just been unbelievable. Can't hit it much harder than that. She should be proud of the swing that she just had in the contact.
Addison Young steps up with 2 outs. As good as both of these teams have been, wouldn't it be fitting that the championship would be decided in extra innings?
It really, really would. Yep.
We have not seen an extra inning game here in Waco yet, and this is day 5 of play. 1-0 misses upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes.
Riley Dotson falling behind the past couple of hitters that she's faced.
Dotson takes a breath, regroups in the circle. Here's the 2-0. In there, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Just gets the bottom of the zone. Burnett helping her out. Love the energy, too, that Burnett has shown in this game back behind the plate.
Boys are all texting their friends, getting the pictures, the videos ready. Fly ball out to center field, and Dill makes the catch. And that'll do it for the 6th inning. Texas West picks up a run and sends this championship game now into extra innings.
Haven Hansen right now is the star. Runner at second base, down by 1. Championship game on the line, and she ties up this game to send it to extras.
Brenley Robinson has been the hero for this game for Texas West in the circle and at the plate.
Yeah, she's had a couple of strikeouts. Both were in the first inning, also when she gave up 4 runs. But she has battled back. She has helped turn a couple of double plays, and then also has 2 hits, 2 doubles at the plate. Was the one who got on base in this last inning to be able to score the game-tying run. Incredible day for Brenley Robinson, who again is a true inspiration to all of us.
They call her Bren, but she's been the spark plug, really igniting this offense for Texas West, clawing back in the hole. They were down 4-0 after the first inning and have tied this game up. And here we go into extra innings, top of the 7th. 8-9-1 due up for Oklahoma. Miley Needham will lead things off. Changeup. Notice she slowed down her motion there on that changeup.
Yeah, and I thought, too, that was going to be a strike. I really thought that was going to be a called strike with her changeup. And sometimes young pitchers will have a tendency to do that, to slow down their arm speed in order to slow down the pitch. A changeup, to me, is, I would say, one of the hardest pitches to throw. That and a rise ball, I think, are the toughest for a young pitcher to be able to learn.
How do you properly throw that changeup without slowing down your arm?
Just takes a ton of practice of just keeping your arm speed up through the entire pitch, and maybe even doing it without a ball. But I think also videotaping yourself to be able to see that you're doing it, because sometimes you can't feel it, sometimes you don't know that it's happening. So having somebody videotape yourself or videotape you to be able to see it.
That's a good point. Because you don't always know what you're doing. Like even when you're in a golf swing, you may think you're doing something, and then you look on video like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, I think that videoing yourself, especially nice pitch for the strikeout. 3rd strikeout of the game for Robinson. But now that we all have phones that have slow motion cameras on them, basically for every phone that you have out there, it's a great way to see what you're doing. Mathis sticks that pitch for Robinson.
Get the air depth too. Robinson threw 40 pitches in the first inning, and she is still going strong. Here's Cheyenne Dill.
And there's so many different releases for a changeup, John, where there's not just one changeup release that makes the ball go slower, and every single pitcher in the entire world throws the exact same changeup. It doesn't work like that. It's a very touchy pitch, so finding a release, a grip, and that can help you feel comfortable to not slow down and still take speed off of the pitch is important.
1-1 on Dill, misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. Dill well hit to second base. Young off the hop. Makes the throw. 2 outs.
That was a good-looking play there by Young. She made that look really easy, but as a second baseman, you don't know how that ball is going to hop. You have to charge it, try to get the good hop. She handled it so well, kind of an in-between hop, and she still was able to field it cleanly, transfer the ball to her throwing hand, and make it a throw on the line.
121 pitches for Brenley Robinson in the circle. Top of the lineup for Oklahoma, Alexis Kierstead. Swinging at the first pitch in the hole. That gets by Rosillo.
Rosillo kicking herself a little bit, thinking that she could have made that backhand play, and if she would have made it, it would have been a tremendous play. It took her deep into the hole, ends up hitting off of her glove, and I guarantee you she was already thinking about the throw before she saw that ball into her glove.
Kierstead has 3 walks. That's her first hit of the ball game. She's already scored twice. In fact, in the 3 games they've played, she has scored twice in each of those games. So Kierstead, an important part of this lineup. Starr pops it up to left field. Catch is made by Rocio. She's playing every position out on the field here today.
She is definitely a defender who likes to take charge out there. She was calling it. You could hear it loud and clear. She wanted to be the one to make that out.
Welcome back to Waco, Texas. We are in the championship game here of the Southwest region. The winner of this game will take the title and will enter the Little League Softball World Series as the A team. The loser will play their first game as the B team in a totally separate bracket at the Little League Softball World Series. That's why this win is so important. Texas West, the home team, has a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They tied the game up at 5 apiece in the 6th. And now 4, 5, 6 due up. Peyton Richards grabs the second. Davis can't make the play. And Richards just keeps going. Will end up at second base to start this bottom of the 7th.
Really good try by Aubrey Davis, who had to cover a lot of ground at second base and couldn't get to it. Be interested to see if it's going to be a hit or an error. It's going to go down as an E4, the 4th error for Oklahoma in this game. They've been so good defensively, so clean, hadn't committed an error before this championship game.
Manager Edward Rocio for Texas West talking to home plate umpire Randy Schultz. Looks like looking to make some changes. So Abigail Sepulveda will be the pinch runner at second base for Peyton Richards. Four errors today for Oklahoma, and the winning run is now on second base with nobody out. Here's Isabel Mathis. Sends one out to the outfield. That one will drop. Dill gets it back in quickly as Sepulveda stops at third. Mathis takes second base off the single and takes second off the throw.
Continue to be impressed with the way that Texas West has just fought in this game. They have never given up. It's something that their manager, Edward Rocio, talks about with this team. They're a team that answers back after tough times, and there's an out left. You better believe that they're going to try their hardest.
Big swing. Addison Williams looking for a home run there.
Yeah, she was.
I'm not mad at it.
Me either. I like how she committed big. Just let her rip.
Just a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Addison Goose Williams.
Still love how all the baseball players have their phones out waiting for the walk-off moment.
Balls, 1 strike to count on Williams.
See, John, Addison's nickname is Goose. She's wondering where that pitch was. And we also have a Goose on the other team. There is another Goose who graduated from Baylor just down the road this past year. They're everywhere.
Ground ball in play. Runner stays put at third. Goose Hutchins makes the play over at first for the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
And it's just so big that you have runners at second and third, less than 2 outs. Something that would work in this situation is a ground ball to the right side of the field to second base. You can be thinking about execution in that way, potentially even laying down a bunt to try to force a run across.
If you're the runner at third, what are you thinking right now?
You're thinking to see the ball down on the ground and to not get yourself doubled off. So anything in the air, you want to make sure that either gets through the infield on a line drive, or if it's a pop-up, you make sure that it hits the ground, get back to the base to tag.
Bunt is laid down, but foul. So Reese Tate now in the hole, 0-2.
The corners that are playing back a bit now because there's 2 strikes, not anticipating a bunt.
Big pitch by Riley Dotson, gets the strikeout for the second out here.
God, that was such a big pitch. Look at Riley Dotson just bearing down with 2 runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. And look who will come up to the plate.
Brenley Robinson has carried Texas West all day. Will she be the hero with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th? The winning run on third base.
I think I would pitch around Brent Robinson with the day that she's had. It just, you start to feel that, yeah, they're going to go ahead and put her on first base and intentionally walk her. A smart choice there, because her as a runner at first base means nothing in this game. The only run that you're thinking about, the only runner that you're thinking about is that runner at third base. And can Haven Hansen do it again?
Haven Hansen stepped up in the 6th inning, had an RBI double that drove in Robinson and tied this game up at 5. That's why we're in extra innings right now. First pitch to Hansen, sails upstairs, 1-0.
A lot of pressure on Dotson in the circle to throw strikes. Haven Hansen, you want to find a pitch that is your pitch and commit big to it. Ooh, that is a pitcher's pitch. That was a tough pitch thrown by Riley Dotson. Good eye by Hansen. Not a lot that she could have done with that pitch. With 2 strikes, you're for sure going to want to swing at that, but less than 2 strikes, it's just a pitcher's pitch.
Everybody ready to capture the moment. 1-1, put in play. Lifted to the right side. Catch is made by Needham, and that'll do it. Oklahoma gets around a bases-loaded jam as this game will move on to the 8th inning. Welcome back to Waco, Texas. The championship game of the Southwest region now moves into the 8th inning. John Schriffen alongside my partner Amanda Scarborough. Amanda, look at the runners left on base by both Oklahoma and Texas West.
Yeah, both teams have had a lot of traction, a lot of runners on the base pass, a lot of opportunities. And yet it's just been such close games that we've had between these 2 teams. It's very fitting that they would have a tie game and that we would go to extra innings.
Now, we're going to play international rules as we move into the 8th inning. So the last out of the 7th inning will start at second base. So Taylon Starr will be the runner at second base as we start this 8th inning. And Goose Hutchins will be walked intentionally. So Oklahoma runners on at first and second, nobody out to start this 8th.
Tough because Candace Burnett has been so good, who hits back behind Goose Hutchins and will come up to the plate now. Is that maybe the highest batting average, one of, if not the highest batting average out of any player in the tournament.
So Candace Burnett steps in, takes ball 1. Hutchins the runner on at first. Starr is the runner on at second.
You can even believe how good that Brent Robinson has been in the circle. 126 pitches thrown in her first appearance this postseason for Texas West. Just a true definition of a fighter.
2 balls, no strikes, the count to the cleanup hitter, Candace Burnett. Burnett inside out swing, sends it the other way to right field. Hansen can't handle it cleanly, but Starr will hold up at third. So bases loaded, nobody out for Oklahoma to start this 8th inning.
Yeah, Candace Burnett gets a pitch on the inside corner, as you said, inside out swing, and Haley Galvin is going to hold the runners for a second. And then Starr looked like she was going to take a few steps toward home, and all the runners thought that they were going to advance another 60 feet, and then everybody retreats.
Aini Hicks will step up to the plate as a pinch hitter. Here's the tiebreaker if tied after 6th inning. Now, the 7th inning, as we just saw, played as normal. It started the 8th inning, and each half inning after that, the offensive team, when they come up, will have a runner start at second base. That's why Taylon Starr, who did the last out in the 7th, started at second base. And here we are, bases loaded, nobody out. Aini Hicks at the plate for Oklahoma. First pitch upstairs, 1-0. Hicks pops it up in foul territory, but Mathis can't find it, and it gets down.
Big missed opportunity with how long that ball was in the air. Hard for a catcher to find. Communication is key. Maybe it even got lost in the sun, too. It's overhead.
Brenly Robinson with a 1-1 count is getting ready to throw her 130th pitch of this ball game. Hicks pops that one up again, and it gets down in foul territory, 1-2.
So throwing 73 strikes, 57 balls.
Hicks grounds up the middle. It's a single. It'll get through. Starr will score to break the tie. Here comes Hutchins. Oklahoma scores 2 off the two RBI single by Aini Hicks.
Aini Hicks had a couple of extra opportunities. She put some balls in the air foul, and she is able to extend her at bat and drive it right toward the right side of second base. Huge swing by Aini Hicks. She hit that ball so hard. She's got a beautiful swing, stepping up for her team.
Oklahoma breaks the tie with a 7-5 lead here in the top of the 8th. The championship game here in the Southwest region. Here's the left fielder, Lily Beveridge. Grounds that ball to third. And that is a foul ball.
Good heads-up play there by Van Zee. Just thinking, too, a double play mindset out there in the infield for Texas West with the amount that they've turned in this game.
Take a look how close this ball was to being fair.
Yeah, it was so close.
So Beveridge in the hole, 0-2, nobody out. Just sticks her bat out to stay alive, goes foul.
And, giving up 1 run in an international tiebreaker situation, not going to hurt you too bad, because likely the other team is going to score a run because you start with a runner at second base and no outs. But it's any additional run on top of that 1 run that you give up. Right now, Oklahoma just up by 2 runs with a chance to add more to it.
Beveridge fouls off another one. That remains at 0-2.
then Brenley Robinson just continues to fight in the circle. She threw 40 pitches in that first inning, and you thought this game might go a different way with the amount of runs that Oklahoma has scored in this tournament. They've scored 4 in the first inning, and she threw 40 pitches and then quickly settled in. A 10-pitch inning, then a 9-pitch inning, made some adjustments, and for the most part kept Oklahoma at bay. The defense has stepped up and made some good plays too. They've yet to commit an error.
In the first 2 games for Oklahoma, they had 12 extra base hits. Today, just 1. That just goes to show you how good of a job Brenley Robinson is doing in the circle.
"15 hits in this game for Oklahoma.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Lily Beveridge. Here's the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Fouls off another one. The 1-2. That one is put in play to right field. Second baseman Young goes back to make the catch. Tagging from second and going to third is Burnett.
Aggressive base running. I thought that Texas West had another chance to make a double play if that throw wouldn't have been cut by Rocio. Would have been communicating better to the right side of the field to make the throw to third base and communicating that Burnett was tagging.
So there's the first out of the inning.
Young catches it. She would have thrown all the way to third base instead of to Rocio.
Riley Dotson steps up to the plate, who's done such a nice job getting out of jams in the circle for Oklahoma. Runners on at first and third, 1 out. Dotson sends that one to deep center field. Catch is made by Tate. Tagging from third and scoring is Candace Burnett. Very nice job on the base path. Tag from second, went to third, then tag from third. And now scores, putting Oklahoma up 8-5 here in the 8th.
Another sacrifice fly for Oklahoma. Continue to push runs across and execute well. Runner at third base. Ball in the air to the outfield. That is just screaming RBI all day. Every run so important because of how hard this Texas Fight team will fight.
Big smile on the face of Riley Dotson. Knows she did her job. Change up to Miley Needham in the dirt, 1-0.
You know, Texas West has to be excited, though, knowing that they have the top of their order coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lexi Rocio will be the leadoff hitter.
Grounded or short. Rocio gets the lead runner at second. And that'll do it. Oklahoma breaks the tie, picks up 3 runs here in the 8th inning. Go up 8-5.
Got Aini Hicks stepping up to the plate with a couple of RBIs and a sacrifice fly by Dotson, the pitcher. They have a 3-run lead.
Welcome back to Waco. This is what these youngsters are playing for, a trip to Stalling Stadium in Greenville, North Carolina. See, the teams already have their tickets punched. Both Texas West as well as Oklahoma will be there. Now it's just a question, who will be the A team and who will be the B team that will play in separate brackets to start the Little League Softball World Series.
Love seeing all the different teams from all over the country. Virginia, New York represented, North Carolina. Still have the West region to figure out who are going to be the representatives from there.
So Haven Hansen, who made the last out in the 7th, will start off the 8th at second base. Lexi Rocio with a pop out. And the catch is made at first base for the first out here in this bottom of the 8th.
That's a big out of Rocio. Texas West has had a couple of chances to end it. And Riley Dotson just has found a way to stay calm, stay confident, and get outs. With her back against the wall, runners on base, especially back in that bottom of the 7th inning and also back in the bottom of the 6th.
Well hit out into left field. Catch is made by Beveridge. Tagging from second, going to third. Tag is made, and that's it. Oklahoma has done it. Oklahoma, your champs of the Southwest region, will move on to the Little League Softball World Series and play in the A bracket.
Gotta love a dog pile, and that's what winning championships are all about. Raylan Van Zee crushed this ball, and Haven Hansen wanted to tag on it. Lily Beveridge said, not on my watch. Beveridge, remember, a player who has been to the regional before with Oklahoma, able to make the last out, and so had Goose Hutchins. She'd been here, I believe, before, too. Incredible double play to end it, and Oklahoma, the Southwest region champs for the first time in history.
A lot to be proud of if you're Texas West. You battled back from being down 4-0 in the first inning. You tied the game in the bottom of the 6th, and then you lose it in extra innings. Nothing to be ashamed of if you are the youngsters from Robinson Little League. And as we've seen after every game, instead of the customary handshakes due to COVID-19 protocol, both teams will line up and wave towards each other as a sign of sportsmanship. What a way to end this week, Amanda. That game was phenomenal.
Very fitting. This entire tournament has had so many great plays. SportsCenter top 10 plays, double plays, in the park home runs, out of the park home runs. I mean, it was just such an amazing week, and these athletes fought so hard in such warm conditions.
One last look at the bracket here in Waco, Texas, in the Southwest region. Oklahoma stayed undefeated, 3-0, rolled through this bracket and won this championship game over Texas West to claim the title here in the Southwest region. And the all-important, they will be the Team A to enter the Little League World Series bracket when they start play in Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah, important thing here, John, is that both teams grew so much. Texas West and Oklahoma, so much growth this week, and they're headed to Greenville.
An amazing ESPN Longhorn Network crew on hand here in Waco all week for producer Heather Wilson, director Brad Sheldon, statistician Kurt Coomey, my incredible partner Amanda Scarborough. I am John Schriffen. Congratulations, Oklahoma, champions of the Southwest region, moving on to the Little League Softball World Series.